Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Right? So here again, I take x to be 0. And I get y equals -2 times 0 over 9. Right? I'm just replacing x by 0, and we're figuring out what y is. I mean, when x is 0, hopefully you can see this is gone. So we're just left with 12 over 9. So this point is on the line. I mean, 12 over 9, I mean, not the best number, but, you know, it's okay. You have calculators and stuff that you can use as well. I think it turns out to be about 1.1 1/3, I think. I don't remember for sure, though. Anyway, now if we set y to be 0 and we solve for x, okay, we have 0 equals -2x over 9 plus 12 over 9, like so. And so from here, you get this. Right, so again, I'm setting y to be 0. We want to figure out what x is, okay? And I did interchange both sides, and then I multiplied both sides by 9, because again, I want to clear these denominators. Both denominators are 9. I want the denominators to go away. How do I make them go away? I multiply both sides by 9. Because you distribute, and then you have cancellation. As you can see, these cancel. Let me actually draw that in. That might help. Oh boy. See, these cancel, and these cancel, as you can see. So we're left with this. Okay. Now we want to figure out what x is. That's what I'm doing up here. Excuse me. That's what I'm doing up here. So we subtract 12 from both sides, okay? We have -2x is -12, okay? Then we divide both sides by x. Doing so, excuse me, not by x, we divide both sides by -2. Right, and what happens here? -2 and -2 cancel. We have -12 over -2 is 6, so x is 6. So this is another point on the line. So we have this point and we have this point. Both of them are on the line. So you could plot them and then connect them by a straight line. That's what I did. So that's what we have here. On a quiz or exam, I probably won't ask you to sketch the line. I'll probably just say find 2 points on the line. Because again, you can see here, I didn't sketch this by hand. So I just don't see the point in sketching it by hand if you're in an online course like this. I mean, in class, if I stopped you from using a calculator, which in class I can do that on a test, then I would ask you to sketch it by hand. That's different. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Are there any questions about that? I figured I'd let you guys try one. In fact, try this one now, please. Let me just stop the recording. There we go. Okay. So here we want to work with what do you call it? This particular equation here. Okay. No, maybe I shouldn't write down sketch the graph. What I really should say is find 2 points that are on the graph of this, which really means finding what do you call it? Finding 2 points that satisfy this equation. You know, finding 2 solutions. So, all right. Anyway, let's do this though. Okay. So from here, as you can see, what I want to do, what I'm doing though, is getting y in terms of x, and there's a mistake there, isn't there? Why didn't that y show up? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, easy to fix. Must have pressed the wrong button when I was doing my lecture notes, but how did I, what the? There we go. Hey, Oh, great. That's weird. All right, whatever. Anyway, basically what I did here, hopefully you can see it down here at least, is that, well, I'll work with that later. I don't want to waste time doing that. Anyway, what I'm trying to show you here is that, oh, there we go. Fixed it. Anyway, as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get y in terms of x, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm subtracting 6 times x from both sides, okay? And then we're left with 10y on the left side. And on the right side, we have 2 minus 6x, as you can see. And then, of course, let's get y in terms of x. We get y is, we divide both sides by 10, meaning divide everything essentially by 10. So here the 10s cancel, we get y. 2 over 10 here, minus 6x over 10. And so, writing it this way, we get this. Again, all I did here was subtraction is the same as adding the negative. Or if you want, you could think of it as switching the order, but keeping the sign with, the negative sign that is, with 6x over 10, as you can see. And really here, you can actually tell right away what the slope is. It's the coefficient of x, which is negative 6 over 10. So really what I could ask you is, find the slope of this line segment. So you could find 2 points, but really you could just tell by looking at this. So I didn't write it in lowest terms. You don't have to do that, mostly because I didn't go over how to do that. So I mean, if you do write it in lowest terms, that's fine. All right. We have that, so let's get 2 points. So as before, I took x to be 0, replace x by 0, right? This is gone, and we're left with 2 over 10. So when x is 0, y has to be 2 over 10, okay? And so we get y equals 0.2. I mean, I wrote it as a decimal. If you left it as a fraction, that's fine. To be honest, I don't remember why I wrote it as a decimal. Maybe I just did it like without thinking. But either way, you get this is on the line. I mean, probably what I wrote it as a decimal because when I graphed it, it's going to show the y coordinate as a decimal. But that's okay. You can leave it as a fraction is what I'm saying. Now, so that's when x is 0. What about when y is 0? Again, you don't have to use 0 here. I mean, I could next choose a different x number, like x equals 1, if I want to. I just chose y to be 0. So from here, we get 0 is minus 6 times x over 10 plus 2 over 10. And just like before, what do? Let's figure out what x is. So from here, right, what I did was I brought this to the left side. I interchanged both sides. That's all I did. I multiply both sides by 10. Okay. Doing so, what happens? I distribute as down here. Then the 10s cancel. Same thing over here. As you can see, the 10s cancel. We're left with minus 6 times x plus 2 equals 0. And you could probably tell looking at this, oh, x has to be a third, which is the same as 2 over 6. But I solve for x. You want to show your work, okay? Because if your answer is wrong, well, you're not going to get full credit anyway if you don't show your work. If you do show your work, I can give you partial credit as well. So from here, right, we want x all alone. So what I did was I subtracted 2 from each side, okay? We have minus 6 times x. That's left over is negative 2. Divide by negative 6. And what do we get? We get x on the left, right? The minus 6's cancel. Here we have 2 over 6, which is the same thing as a third. I mean, originally I did write it in lowest terms. I left it here, though, as 2 over 6. But if you write it as 1 over 3, that's fine. But we get this point is also on the line. Also, I did email you the notes. I don't think I said that before, but I did send out an outline, although this is not really on it, though. So we have this. This was the first point, right? This was when x is 0, y is this, 2 over 10, which is 0.2. This is the other point. So we have this line, as you can see. Good. All right, that's cool. Okay, that was fun. Let me discard those. All right, so are there any questions about that? Okay, so in that case, let's see if I can post this. Let's see that one. Okay. Okay, so here, as you can see, I just gave a bunch of examples. Okay, it's from a worksheet. Let me just zoom in a bit. You could zoom in. What I want you to do for now is do 1 and 2. Okay, take a few minutes. I'll go through that. Then I'll let you do 3 and 4, and then I'll go through that. Okay, because I want to make sure we have enough time. I don't want to start a question, then not be able to go through it with you because of time. So, and depending on how long this takes, I might start 2.4, which is the next section, which is on functions. All right, so I want everyone now, you're going to find the slope of the line through the points. What I also did was I found an equation of the line. Okay, that's what I also did. So find the slope and an equation of the line through each pair of points here. Excuse me, just 1 and 2 for now. Okay, so take a few minutes.